I actually think a lot of people are going to be disappointed by this video. Ak is a bad person. You don't talk to bad people, and we're on different sides. Therefore, we don't talk to each other. And so Akademiks attended the Kendrick Lamar show in Detroit, and he was allegedly approached by members of Kendrick Lamar's label.
I spoke to two TDE people. I think they're both managers. One was Anthony Sala.
And according to Akademiks, these guys were, tries not to say emotional, but he says they were pretty passionate about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef and Akademiks' role in all of that.
I'm watching him, and you know, his eyes, I'll say the eyes. It reeks of passion, and I understand why. I never said he was crying. Looking him eye to eye, he was passionate as a motherfucker.
And it seems like the main reason that Akademiks is putting this out here is because mid-conversation, he sees that he's being recorded by a member of the PGLang TDE team or an affiliate of that team. He sees that he's being recorded. So it seems like Akademiks is trying to get ahead of the news here.
And then bring a nigga to record. I don't know. There was another nigga, he's over there like this. He's over there like this. And I'm like, there's no need to record me. I tell the whole story, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. You can't record me. There's no need to record me. I'm the recording. I'll go tell the story.
And not have anything be released to his surprise. So he's just putting the entire conversation out there. Hey y'all, I am a one-man show. I record, edit the video myself, create the thumbnail, everything. So hitting like and subscribe does help a bunch. Thanks so much. Back to the video. So Akademiks is approached by Anthony Saleh and Dave Free. Yeah, Dave Free from the whole Kendrick Drake battle. He was name dropped a couple of times.
I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Free. Why is she following Dave Free and I missed the morale? Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child.
And Akademiks goes on to say that the demeanor that they had with him was not necessarily bad. Like, he doesn't say much bad about the guys, but at the end of the stream, he says that it's not the demeanor of winners.
The demeanor was not a demeanor of the winners last night. It wasn't. The performance was. Not the demeanor of anybody else.
Like, for these guys' side to have won the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, I mean, they won. A whole year later, it doesn't seem like they're really happy about the whole thing. As a matter of fact, Akademiks will go on to say that it seems like post-battle, that these guys are actually hurt. Like, it seems like they're deeply affected by what's going on and how certain people were name dropped.
Some of the stuff on social media and some of the conversation, the shit is over. It's gone too far and getting too far. They're bringing up people's wives, people's kids, and people that are people who are not public figures.
And it's affecting people who are outside of the battle. Akademiks mentions multiple times how the conversation with the PGLang affiliates, some of the conversation revolved around the fanfare and how the fans, the Kendrick super fans and the Drake super fans, are actually making things a lot worse for guys like Dave Free, Kendrick, and the people in their personal lives.
A lot of things that have continued post-battle that is ultimately hurtful. Narratives, criticisms about people who aren't necessarily public figure. They mentioned criticisms about certain women. Definitely affects them.
This is something I've been saying. Like, the fanfare, I speak mostly on the Kendrick side because I really couldn't care about Drake fans. I'm not a Drake fan, so I don't really see what goes on over there. But I've been saying for a while that Kendrick fans, like the newer fans, this is like not how we've been behaving. It's been a lot of stupid conversation and a lot of just dragging this whole thing on. And these fan bases are still in constant attacks with each other. And Akademiks voices this, and he voices this with the PGLang affiliates.
My assessment of this whole thing, I think both sides need to take accountability. Yes, fans and media do have some accountability to take, but y'all can't say why this shit get to this level when y'all kicked it off by saying this man is kids. Then he also says, well, your kid ain't yours. Both of those are out of bounds.
Overall, Akademiks goes on to say that Dave Free was a bit passionate. He doesn't go as far to say emotional, the E word, but he dang near says when Dave Free approaches him to speak with him about the whole battle, that Dave Free is pretty emotional, not emotional, passionate about the whole thing.
I'm watching him, and you know, his eyes, I'll say the eyes. It reeks of passion, and I understand why. I never said he was crying. Looking him eye to eye, he was passionate as a motherfucker.
And Akademiks mentions that, hey, this is probably misguided energy. Why are you saying all this to me? You should be saying it to Drake.
So I said to him, I feel like some of the stuff that you're saying to me is misguided because you can't say it to him. And I'm saying him, I was referring to Drake. He's somewhat conceited to saying, yeah, that's why also my energy is chill.
Drake is the guy who mentions you in the records and started putting information out there. Why don't you go say this to Drake? Your tour is going to be in Toronto soon. Those guys are in Toronto. Why are you? It's misguided energy, you know? And basically Dave Free's reason for approaching Akademiks was to see how personal is it for you, Akademiks, according to Akademiks.
How personal all of this back and forth is to me. Because he said, if it's personal to me, he made it clear it's personal to him. Well, we could get at it. And we got a bunch of people, left, right, center, him and I both. We could get to it.
According to Akademiks, Dave Free approached him to see how personal is this for you. And according to Akademiks, he's pretty thrown off guard by this question. Akademiks alleges that it's not personal at all for him. He loves his name being in the middle of these high moments in hip hop. It's not personal for him, but obviously it's personal for Dave Free, who is mentioned in the record. There were some allegations made about Dave Free. Dave Free is mentioned multiple times on these Drake diss records. We don't know if what Drake was saying was true. Drake says everything he said was facts. And Dave Free seems pretty affected by this, according to Akademiks. Dave Free still seems pretty affected by this, right?
I said to him, I said, do you think that if it was that personal to me and it was smoke, I would come to your concert? If I care that much about whatever you and Drake got, that I said if I see one of y'all niggas, something's gonna happen, why would I come to the belly of the beast? He landed on the point of there are a lot of things that have continued post-battle that is ultimately hurtful.
So Akademiks' whole point as he's talking to Dave Free is, hey, it's not personal for me. I'm in the media. But you can't be surprised, Dave Free. You guys cannot be surprised that things got super personal and went way out of bounds. When you're making the allegations that this guy is a PDF, this guy's making allegations about you, like basically, as my old heads would say, you play with pigs, you're gonna get covered in shit. According to Akademiks, he says this to Dave Free, tells Dave Free that his energy is misguided. It's misguided. Why are you mad at me? Go be mad at that guy. And Dave Free also wanted to know who's paying you. He asked Akademiks, according to Akademiks, who's paying you? Is Drake paying you? Why are you spitting these narratives like this? Like what's the reason?
At first, he was kind of like, I felt like he was almost asking me like, yo, bro, like, why are you doing this like that? And I was just like, what do you mean? Bro, how much is he paying you for this? No, then he said, no. I'm like pay you for all of this shit that you're saying. And I'm like, he's like, bro, like, I want to know what you're getting from this. And that's who I think he's a smart businessman. But that's when I was just like, wait, they thought Drake bought me? I've never been more insulted in my life.
And according to Akademiks, Dave Free even says, hey, why didn't you contact us if you were going to come to the show?
Because he said, why didn't you hit us up if you're coming today? And I said, brother, why would I hit y'all up if y'all haven't talked to me in years that y'all could line me up? I'd rather catch y'all as a surprise, even though that's not my energy. But I'd rather y'all not be prepared for me.
In the past, Akademiks has had friendly relationships with some people in TDE. He had gone to the Mr. Morale tour. Akademiks name drops someone named Kojo. Kojo is also mentioned in these Drake diss records.
Anthony set up the plays. Kojo be charging you double for none.
So Akademiks had been friendly with TDE in the past. And of course, Akademiks says, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to come to this show, and think about this, y'all. If you're Akademiks, do you let TDE or PGLang know that you're coming to the show on X date? Absolutely not. It sounds like a setup waiting to happen. Like, Akademiks isn't exactly friendly with these guys at this point. He didn't necessarily take their side in a battle. So why would he come and alert you guys, hey, I'm going to be at this show on this date? No, so you can prepare for it? Like, no, I'm popping up right up on you. Y'all are gonna have to do what you do. And if y'all wanna do what you do, you're gonna have to do it without preparation. I'm not letting you know that. But yeah, anyway, I thought that was a funny part of the conversation. And an interesting revelation that Akademiks makes is that Drake was actually in conversation with people who are in Kendrick's team.
He says, you should have heard this nigga Drake, what he was saying to us before we whipped his ass. This is what he told me. Drake has told me he hasn't spoken to Dot directly, but I didn't know about if he spoke to anybody else in and around Dot. Anthony Salah.
Anthony set up the play.
He confirms to me, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss.
They shook about what I'ma say, but texting your phone like we already won.
That's what he says. He says Drake is saying to him, Drake is saying shit like, yo, I'm gonna done you. Like just talking crazy like, yo, you niggas is watch. Yo, you guys think you can finish me? Crazy.
So it's interesting because on these diss records that Drake and Kendrick levied against each other, they're talking to each other like they were having conversations personally.
You tell me what I shouldn't say, but fucking my nigga is already done. Nigga calling top to see if top want a piece of the top, want a piece of the.
Maybe they weren't having conversations personally prior to the battle. Akademiks confirms in this conversation that he was having with Anthony Saleh.
Anthony set up the play.
That Drake was having conversations with at least some of Kendrick Lamar's affiliates.
You tell me what I shouldn't say, but fucking my nigga is already done.
had their numbers, were probably friendly. Of course, all of this is happening prior to Not Like Us. According to Ak, once Not Like Us came out, I guess Drake goes radio silent.
All of a sudden, then we drop the bomb, right? Cool. Not Like Us, they're talking. All right.
And another interesting part is the whole Pusha T, Kendrick Lamar verse situation. I'm sure you guys have heard there's like this Kendrick Lamar verse on the upcoming Clips album. Pusha T is a member of the Clips. And there's a Kendrick Lamar verse there that I guess got the Clips dropped from their label. And in Akademiks' conversation with Anthony Salih, according to Ak, again, this is all just according to Ak, speculation on my part, but according to what Ak says, the Clips, Pusha T, they did get dropped from their label. They did get reprimanded for having this Kendrick Lamar verse.
He says that Pusha T shit is real.
Maybe it's dissing Drake. I don't know if they went that far to say that, but there's more than likely some pretty damning stuff on that Kendrick verse, but it's old. According to Ak and Anthony Salih, that verse, all that whole drama happened last year around June, July. This is like a month or two after Not Like Us came out. So this is old. And according to Ak, the reason why UMG did not want that verse to come out on the Clips album is because Drake had the whole incident where his house got shot up, and UMG was basically trying to salvage their relationship with Drake at the time.
UMG, who is really at that point on a rocky relationship with Drake, they're trying to salvage the relationship. They tell Pusha, hey, right now, you can't drop nothing dissing the guy. We're trying to work on our relationship with him. Could you change this? Could you change that? Now, I'll be honest, he didn't say Drake instructed them to do this. He said they were trying to save a relationship.
Again, this is before the lawsuit and everything. Now, Ak does mention that it's unclear if Drake told them, hey, take that Kendrick verse off that album, or if UMG did that on their own volition. So yeah, it seems like from what Akademiks was mentioning on his stream, he went to a Kendrick Lamar show, and upon entering in his suite, he was approached by affiliates of PGLang / TDE, Dave Free, Anthony Salih, and it just seemed like their main issue was, it didn't seem like they wanted to press him, because I mean, if they wanted to do something, I'm pretty sure they could have done it. Although there was a tense moment that Akademiks mentioned, but it seems like they were just approaching Akademiks like, hey, why are you letting Drake run plays on us like this? How much are you getting paid? Like, what did he give you? There was a time where I guess Akademiks had someone on who accused Anthony Salih of botting streams.
Yeah, I got reached out to. It was May 5th afternoon, and that's when they were like, they actually told me, they're like, hey, we can make some money on this. They just did this drop. They want to just push it. That's how they worded it. They said, we want to push the song, we want to make it look like a crazy hit, and we want to go crazy, and everybody wants to get paid.
Anthony Salih is really mad about that because the botting is mentioned in Drake's UMG lawsuit. Therefore, Anthony Salih got his phone subpoenaed to the courts. Probably been phoneless for months and months now. So yeah, this whole inconvenience that they experienced due to some actions by Akademiks. But yeah, overall, it seems like Akademiks and the PGLang affiliates are in agreement that the fans and the radicalization on the fan side has gone too far, which I agree. I mean, I saw the radicalization very early, like around June, July last year. I started calling out the fans and the things the fans were saying and doing. And I actually think a lot of people are going to be disappointed by this video, because people have gone so far to the extreme. And again, I'm mostly talking about Kendrick fans, because I'm in Kendrick's fan base. I'm not in Drake's fan base. So I'm mostly talking about what I see. But it seems like people are so far to the extreme. I think they'll be mad. Some people will be mad to know that affiliates of PGLang / TDE came and had just a casual conversation with Akademiks at a Kendrick show. And I think they'll be mad because they view it as, Ak is a bad person, you don't talk to bad people, and we're on different sides, therefore we don't talk to each other. And it's not just, it's like this, like across America right now. You can't have differing opinions. People are way too far to the extreme side. But I think people will actually be upset. And in this conversation, Akademiks kind of ended by saying, yo, at some point, y'all got to piece it up. Drake and Kendrick's side, y'all got to piece it up so the fan tension will die down. And so y'all can, I mean, someone's going to eventually start getting clipped. I mean, people are going to start getting hurt. The battle kind of went too far with the accusations. I don't know. I mean, that's his opinion. But yeah, they agree on the fan radicalization. And again, this is something I called out very early. I saw it on the Kendrick side very early. You still see it nowadays. And according to Akademiks, I'm going to end the video with how I started it. According to Akademiks, the demeanor of the PGLang affiliates, Anthony Salih and Dave Free, it's not that of a winner or a victory lap, at least with him. It didn't seem like, according to Ak, they were super joyous or super happy as they should be during this GNX tour victory lap. According to Ak, these guys seemed, I guess, frustrated, irritated, and like they were still going through the motions, like as if they're still in the battle. Passionate, but really what Ak wanted to say was emotional, but he didn't want to deliver the message and make it seem like he was shading them. You know, you call another man emotional, even if they were emotional, people take that a different way. But what Ak really wanted to say was they're emotional. And he says, you know, even though we had a good conversation, it's odd because it's not the demeanor of the side who won the battle. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fan radicalization. Both sides, they said what they said. Kendrick, Drake, they said what they said in the battle. And Akademiks' whole point is, you guys are also complicit in how far this thing went. The fan radicalization is both sides. And I would agree. It's both sides. And I would agree, obviously, the fanfare is going too far. I don't know what they're doing on the OVO side, but on the Kendrick side, I said probably a year ago to this point, probably a year now, I've been said like, all right, I don't know what happened to our fan base over here in Kinfolk land. But anyway, I just thought that was a very interesting interview because I don't think a lot of people know that Akademiks and PGLang, they were in talks. Akademiks had a relationship with TDE, even if it's just through one person being Kojo. Akademiks says in this stream that he's never even met Drake. Akademiks says he's met Kendrick before, but he's never met Drake. And I think Dave Free and Anthony Saleh, they might be a little thrown off by that. Like, hey, you used to come to our tours, you used to be in contact with our mans. The battle happens and then you switch up. So I think this is why they're asking him, like, hey, how much were you paid? Like, what did you get in order to flip like this? Like, what's going on? So I can see both sides, kind of how both sides feel. Again, this is just Akademiks' narrative of the situation. According to Akademiks, there's a recording that PGLang has. And honestly, I think that's why Akademiks came out and said this and just put the entire conversation out there. I don't think he would be so quick to put a private conversation out there unless he felt like it may be used against him in the future. So I think that's why he put it out there. Like, hey, if y'all release something with y'all thought y'all was pressing to me or something, I've already put out the information that I said in there. Have that at Hoss. So anyway, yeah, what do y'all think? Do y'all think the fans are going to allow a truce? I think Kendrick and Drake, like I've been saying, they need to piece it up, shake hands at some point, move on. They don't gotta be best friends. You piece it up, you shake hands. So for the fans, for the other people in the team, the people who are actually gonna get physical if something get physical, shaking hands and piecing it up calms all of them down. It don't mean y'all are gonna be besties. Although a Kendrick and Drake song collab would be the biggest hip hop record of all time. If it came out, a Kendrick and Drake collab would be the biggest hip hop record of all time. I think so. That's my guess. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.